Welcome to another edition of White Light Broadcasting. Today our topic is going to be working with crystals, connecting with crystals. Here I have Joy with me. She's one of our people who's passionate, like myself, about crystals, or has a crystal addiction, if you will.
Yeah, I'm pretty addicted.
Yeah. And so first I'll just share us a little brief explanation of how I got into crystals. I started out studying geology and earth science in college, so I already had a really strong connection to rocks, if you will. I loved learning about earth processes, the stars, everything. I just was fascinated by it. So I kind of had a rock addiction, but I thought of them as rocks. And so it was like a passion of mine. I think it was kind of handed down from my grandmother, who was also very addicted to rocks from a young age. And I now am blessed to have her whole rock collection in my house, some of her biggest pieces that she collected. But what started me looking at them for their properties was because I just at one point started getting impulses to sleep with amethyst under my pillow. It was driving me crazy. Put an amethyst under your pillow. Put an amethyst under your pillow. I was like, okay. And so I did. I started sleeping with amethyst under my pillow. No idea about anything metaphysical. Never heard of it. Never thought about it. And so I did that for a while. And then it was really funny because a friend took me to a store in Michigan, which was called Earthlore. What a cool name for a store. And it was just like a huge crystal shop, and but it was all metaphysical based. So it was like a lot of different rocks and stuff like that. And I started realizing that the properties of amethyst was to help with problems with your brain. And I had multiple sclerosis. So I was fascinated. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been treating my multiple sclerosis like instinctively by keeping this amethyst with me. And also it's for protection. And I didn't know, and from that moment I was sold. Like I was addicted, and now today I have a rock shop of my own.
This is what this leads to.
Yes, it can be a problem.
Oh yeah.
So what about you, Joy?
Oh, well, for me, I started out really young because my dad likes rocks. Mm-hmm. And so we used to hunt for fossils and different types of rocks and things when I was a kid. And he even had an identification book that he gave me when I was about 10. He passed that on to me from his collection. And, I just was always fascinated with them. It's just really cool, the way that they form and how they're actually growing over time.
I know.
They're just so slow that we don't realize it, which makes me wonder, I'm like, okay, so hundreds of years from now, my crystals that are in my house might be too big for my husband to load around anymore. And, of course, he won't be at that point anyway. But it just occurred to me, they teased me because I have these large specimens that I think it's some sort of a quartzite granite or some kind of quartz rock. And, the one is this big, and the other one is around the same size, but not quite as thick. And he and his friends were unloading the truck when I moved out here, and they're like, his friend's carrying this box, and he's like, what do you have in here, rocks? And it was just so funny.
Yeah, actually I do.
Actually, yeah, it is rocks. I'm very sorry. It's very heavy. So, yeah, it's just kind of funny.
Having a rock shop, the delivery people do not like us.
God, yeah.
Yes. UPS, FedEx, we deeply apologize, but this is what we do.
Yeah. You're welcome to come in if you bring our FedEx orders and you're watching this. We'll give you a discount on a Reiki session.
Yeah, because you might need it.
Yeah.
After carrying our boxes up the stairs.
Exactly. So, I don't know, as far as the metaphysical knowledge of it, when I was a teenager, I became really interested in sort of the metaphysical in general. And so, I started when I was probably a freshman in high school. I started really looking at things and reading other books about paranormal activities and UFOs. Time Life used to have that book series. I don't know if you ever read it. It's gosh, I can't remember the name of the series, but they had him on the pyramids and UFOs, and there was books on every kind of alternative topic, and
neat,
including metaphysical and things like that. And they actually had them in the library at our high school. That's what happens when you go to an art high school. It's like they have all this crazy stuff that other high schools may not. It's not all just normal literature. So so I started researching. I had no idea that they have so many different properties. They're kind of like, when I talk to people about it now, I can say, they're like herbs. Like, really, stones are like herbs. They have different things that they're good for and different ways that they help us. And, they're also used in all kinds of things, like technologies. We were just talking the other day about that in one of our other segments, about how, they're used in watches to power a watch. So, I mean, it's very obvious. They conduct energy. And energies and things are also affected by color. The different mineral content can affect the speed of the energy that comes through it, how it, disperses, what it does. It's actually really scientific, and people often are like, oh, it's really woohoo, whatever. And it's like, no, there's really science behind it. I mean, a lot of it can't be quantified yet because they don't have the right technology, but that's how it always is, like the human energy field, auras exist. They can prove it now.
Oh, yeah, now they do. They do have that scientific evidence that we do have an energy field around us.
Yes. It's an electromagnetic field, just like the Earth. I mean, it's just how we are.
Yes.
So, I'm sure someday they'll quantify it, but for now, we have to go on what we know, and we know it works. We've seen evidence, so.
Yeah. Nice.
So what about, sometimes people ask me about, like, stones becoming a point of worship for people. I don't know why. I think a lot of my Christian friends get really concerned that, especially when I was younger, when I was a teenager, and they used to be like, oh, you're kind of a tree hugger, and are you worshiping the earth? Are you worshiping crystals? What's going on? So how have you addressed that? Has anybody brought that up to you before?
I haven't really gotten asked that as much, but to me, it's like I like the stones. I connect with their energy. A lot of times through holding them, keeping them with me. But a lot of times also, I guess my response would be, if it was like for worship, as you say, it's like, I often don't keep stones very long. I will have a stone that I just feel drawn to. I'll use it for a while, work with it for a while, absorb some of its energy. But then I feel like it's time. It'll tell me like it's time when it wants to move on to the next person.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and a lot of times people come in and say, oh, my stone just disappeared. And that does happen in this really bizarre, glitches in the matrix kind of a way. And it's like, but sometimes stones do disappear, but I always just say they wanted to move on to somebody else. It's almost like, to me, these stones are these little healers that have little agendas of their own. I don't know. That probably doesn't help people who are religious. But I don't. I just like connecting to their energy, putting them in my hands. Just kind of feeling them. Getting a sense of what they do, where they've been.
Well, for me,
things like that.
Yeah, I think that would fall more into the category, like, we connect with people in that way too. So if I want to connect with you, I might call you and be like, hey, do you want to go out for coffee? I would love to chat with you, catch up. That's one way that people psychologically and energetically connect with each other. You spend time together. You might hug people, especially like, when your spouse comes home from work. You have that point of reconnection where you're like holding them, having that point of touch and contact. And there's an energetic exchange in that. So people, but I don't worship my husband, right? Although some husbands might want to be worshipped. We know that most of the time we tend not to worship our husbands. But, connecting with them energetically doesn't imply worship. And so I'm not sure why people assume that it would be any different with a stone or another item.
Yeah.
People sell all kinds of things. What if you sell copy and printers? You don't worship them just because you know everything about them and you use them, right? They're still tools.
Exactly.
But nobody looks at that and says, oh, well, he worships the printers he sells, So I don't know why People just ask me that. I always wondered why. So if anybody knows why people ask that, comment below, because doggone it, I really am just lost at why you would think that anybody worships rocks. Although there might be some out there.
Oh, there probably are people who worship rocks, and if you do, God bless you. That's your religion, and we respect that.
Yeah, it's just not mine. It's just not mine. So yeah, I shouldn't assume there are probably people who do.
Yes.
I'm not one of them. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think they're an excellent tool, and they're great for healing. And, especially crystal healing.
Yes. Yeah, crystal healing is basically like laying on stones. We do that here. They have amazing energy. I've actually had that done to me. I've done it to other people, and people have done it to me, and it's just, it's amazing. It works almost as good. To me, it's like as good, if sometimes not better, than getting Reiki. Mm-hmm. If you put the right stones on and you just lay there, it really starts moving your energy, opening up your meridians, helping your channels clear. It's amazing. But for people just starting out, I mean, what do you tell people in the very beginning?
When they're starting out finding crystals and things?
Or like, what do I do, basically? People are like, okay, so I have a crystal, now what?
Yeah. Well, I usually recommend, first of all, getting in touch with sort of the energy of the crystal and saying, how does this communicate with my energy? Mm-hmm. And what is it saying? Because, just because it doesn't talk, because crystals never, they don't generally open their mouths, they don't have them and speak to you. So, you're feeling their energy. What does it feel like? Are you drawn to a particular place in the house where it needs to be placed? Mm-hmm. Are you drawn to putting it in your pocket? Is it something that you'd like to keep at work? And most of the time, I believe that those things are inspired,
yes,
there's something, like helping you to solve a problem. It's like God is giving you this information that, this will help you. If you put it here, this will help to shift that energy in the area, mm-hmm. Particularly in the workplace, sometimes you have to shift negativity in the workplace.
Yes. Yeah.
So, that's a strong place. I have people come in all the time here who are like, I need to shift negativity, and so we refer them to the right stones, and you can place it in your office or in general,
that's going to be your black tourmaline.
Oh yeah, that's like
black tourmaline has an amazing ability to transmute dense negative energy into positive energy. A lot of times people call that psychic attack. People also can get weirded out by that word, psychic attack. So I usually quantify that and explain that psychic attack means that even if a person is really jealous of you or they just don't like you or something like that, and they keep thinking negative thoughts about you, all thoughts are energy. That's what we mean by psychic attack. In the Middle East, they call it like the evil eye. Yeah. Well, that's basically what it is somebody's just thinking negative things about you, talking about you behind your back. They're not trying to attack you per se, but their energy is because their intention is that they're not happy with you in some way. So it kind of sends negative energy your way. And so a lot of times black tourmaline will really help with that. The most fascinating thing about black tourmaline, we get a lot of people come back that will say, I've got this piece of black tourm, put it on my desk, and all of a sudden it just snapped and broke. Wow. I actually was wearing some black tourmaline recently, mm-hmm. and it just exploded. Literally, little pieces of black tourmaline were all over the place, and it broke in half.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's like, and I say, to me, that's just proof of the power of black tourmaline. It really sucks in that icky energy and works on it. You know what I mean? It's like it protects you. Mine broke. I took it off at night, put it on the dresser. Woke up in the morning, the black tourmaline part was broken in half, and there was little tiny shards of it all over around the area.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I haven't heard stories like that, but I believe it.
I'm telling you.
I'm like, please don't break.
Hopefully you're not getting as much psychic attack.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
so glad that we're able to have this conversation because so many
Absolutely.
people just don't know about crystals.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of qualms, I think, people, sometimes for certain people in certain areas. But
Yeah.
yeah, sort of demystifying it. It's really scientific, but
Yes.
also metaphysical. So that's the beauty of the universe.
So, just go into a local, even if you go to a rock shop, it's okay. You can look up the properties of the rock you bought online. Go to a local metaphysical store. A lot of them have a selection of rocks. You can also call us at 703-490-4720. We'll do consultations over the phone, and help you do rocks and send them to you. We can ship them to you and help you choose some rocks, and use our guidance and our insight, by talking to you to figure out which stones would be best for you. So we're happy to help you with that, but I'm sure your local metaphysical store is happy to help you with that as well.
Yeah. And don't forget about our web shop coming up. We're going to have shopping available online.
Yes.
Which will be wonderful. And then you can buy pieces from us as well that you've selected. We're going to have pictures of like the individual piece, so it's not just a mystery. You're not just going to get some random amethyst.
Yes.
You'll get whatever the image is, which is nice.
Yeah, that's one of the issues with that a lot of people say with buying stones online is that you don't get to see it. It usually puts a picture of one and says you will get something similar to this, and then it says, well, all things are, these are naturally occurring, and we can't, so you never really know what you're going to get when you do it in the mail. But for us, we're happy to work with you and get pictures to you or help you choose stones. We're happy to make sure you get exactly what you need and not just some random rock. Yes, we want you to have something special.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, cool.
Well, I think that concludes our segment for today on crystals. We'll do some more in-depth work on crystals. Eventually, what I want to do is have some meditations with crystals and things like that.
So look for that coming ahead.
So we'll see you soon. Thank you for coming. Peace, blessings.